Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Parlay Show, brought to you by Bet99. I'm Rob Conway in Toronto, and it is the Thursday show, and I'm joined, of course, by the co-host, Mr. Albert Vartanian. Avi, how you doing, my man?
Good, I'm good, man. You're looking good today. You got the sweater going.
Yeah.
Cup of water. Feeling hydrated.
I'm trying to loosen the throat up a little. I'm a little congested today with the throat, but I don't know. A little bit.
The weather's getting nice. You don't want to get sick now, man.
No, I'm not sick.
They have summer cold.
Oh yeah, no.
Brutal, man.
Yeah, that's
Especially
not happening.
You like being on the golf course. You want to be clean, ready to rock and roll.
Well, as you know, I was supposed to play around with Matthew Barnaby. We played a total of 2 holes. My first round will be Saturday, assuming it doesn't rain. On Saturday, I will get my 2023 golf season underway.
Oh, amazing! Yeah,
from Shelburne, Ontario.
Yeah. What's the course there?
It's Shelburne Golf and Country Club.
Oh, okay.
It's just outside Orangeville. It's not too far. My buddy has like a cottage type of thing there, so we're doing a little tourney
on the course. Man, I can't wait. I broke my hand 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I haven't even touched the club yet.
Playing an elite level of soccer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bumping into a guy. Like, not even a good story. What happened to your hand? I bumped into a guy and my hand broke.
Yeah. You just don't tell it that way.
No.
Just say you like slide tackle or something. And
everyone says the same joke. Oh, how's the other guy look?
Yeah.
No,
he's fine.
He's fine, man.
He didn't even know you ran into me.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't even see me.
All right, on today's show, we have a jam-packed show. Obviously, we got the conference finals in the NBA and the NHL. One of the series in the NHL wrapped up last night, and we have a Game 5 coming up in the NBA, as well as a Game 4 in the NHL. And we got 2 guests on today, both from homestand. We have Sarah Pararia, who will be talking F1 Monaco Grand Prix, and Krina Mustafa, who will be talking about the French Open coming up next week. Qualies are already underway, and it should be a pretty interesting. We'll get into it, obviously, with the French Open, but I'm really interested to hear what Krina has to say about who. Nadal's not there. That's basically it. That's that, and who, we got the Prince of Clay with Alcaraz, but who the favorite is, obviously, with the Joker and everything. It's going to be interesting there.
Yeah, the thing is with Nadal, he's always been the guy to avoid on clay, right? Who's that guy now? Is it Carlos?
It's got to be, but I mean, he's beatable. He's not like Nadal, where it's just forget about it's curtains every single year. And
Carlos and Djokovic on the same side, right? Could meet each other in semifinals. That's interesting.
Yes.
That's what I want to see.
Yes, there are some big names. Medvedev just got a win on clay as well. So we'll get into that a little bit later on with Krina. It should be good. But real quick, let's get into the NHL.
Yeah.
And, Matthew Tkachuk last night sent Carolina packing for the 3rd time in 4 games. Although this one wasn't in overtime, it might as well been with 4.3 seconds remaining. Just unbelievable clutch performance again by Tkachuk. Just your thoughts on how this team, who is the 17th best record in the NHL. If we went to 116, they wouldn't even be in it.
Yeah.
We're down 3-1 with like a couple minutes left against the greatest regular season team in the history of the NHL, and here they are sweeping their way to the NHL Stanley Cup Final.
I know. I saw a stat somewhere. Don't quote me on the percentage, but it was around maybe just under 30% of the time in the regular season that they were in a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Which tells you how crazy this run is. And if you go back to, I think, 3 games before the end of the regular season, it was the Blackhawks who beat Pittsburgh, which allowed the Panthers to get into the playoffs. So if that doesn't happen, this whole situation isn't going on. Also, in the first round, if Alex Lyon doesn't get yanked for Bobrovsky, this probably doesn't happen either. I mean, he was fantastic once again. But, I mean, the story, and it probably should be outside of the Panthers getting to the Stanley Cup Final, is Matthew Tkachuk. I mean, I was telling this off air, but one of the big storylines coming out of its playoffs has to be that the NHL has a new star in Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah.
He is an absolute superstar gamer in the playoffs. Paul Maurice said that in the first round. He's like, this guy is a gamer. He knows how to win. 100-plus point player. Gets it done in the playoffs. Was that 4-game winners in the playoffs? 3 of them being in the overtime. So, I mean, last night's goal was essentially an overtime winner as well to clinch the series. But, I mean, I'm so impressed by these Panthers. And even though I said, listen, I think the Canes might have too much for them, I think just like the Hurricanes, probably underestimated how good these guys actually are.
Yeah, I don't blame anyone for that. Like you say, you look at this team, they're red hot right now, and how long can these 1-goal games falling their way time and time again, and will it continue into the Stanley Cup Final, whether they play Vegas most likely or possibly Dallas? But from a Conn Smythe perspective, we were talking about this off air, and we were like, well, it's Bobrovsky, right? He's the goaltender. They're 1-goal games. He's been unbelievable. He was dominant during the series with Toronto. Came in halfway through the series with Boston, and now was fantastic here again in round 3. Matthew Tkachuk's got 4-game winners, 3 in the last series to send them to the Stanley Cup Final. He's been their best player. He was their best player all year, like double in points, the next closest player. And they're the odds right there, plus 195 for Bobrovsky. Any other year, he'd be hands-on favorite. And then now Tkachuk, any other year without a Bobrovsky performance would be as well, plus 350. What do you like?
I'm still Bobrovsky. If you're going to Florida, those are only two guys. I don't see anyone else. I mean, Sam Bennett's been fantastic. How about that hit on Slavin?
Oh, man.
The guy hits like a truck, Sam Bennett. Good player. But I think it's Bobrovsky. 11-2 postseason record. 935 save percentage. 2.21 goals against average. I mean, he's won 5 straight games. 30 saves in a row. Keeps them in games. If it wasn't for Bobrovsky, you could say the same for Tkachuk, but if it wasn't for the goalie, the Panthers aren't in this position. And when it comes to Conn Smythe, if you go through the history, it's usually, a captain, a defenseman, or a goalie. And so by process of elimination, I'm going to have to go with the goalie here.
Yeah, there's usually a default you can fall to, like a Sidney Crosby or a Connor McDavid or whatever, and it's easy, but there's not on this Florida team.
No.
Tkachuk is, but Bobrovsky's playing unbelievable, right? I mean, he's just been Vezina Bob for the entire playoffs.
It's crazy. Everyone's just, because he's such an inconsistent goalie, so streaky, everyone's just waiting for that to happen. When is he going to allow 4 or 5 goals and lose his confidence? But it's not happening.
No.
By far the best goalie in the playoffs right now. I mean, Adin Hill's been pretty good, but if you look at some of the Stanley Cup winners from the past, what they all had in common was their goalie had a save percentage above 900. That is so key to winning a Stanley Cup, and the Panthers have that. But plus 190 is not great odds at the moment. I mean, a couple weeks ago would have been better, but if you're picking a favorite heading into it, it's Bobrovsky.
The problem with plus 195, just to give you a betting perspective too, is what's their series odds against Vegas? Because they have to win.
I want to say it's close to a pick 'em. Right?
You think?
I think so.
I don't think so.
What do you think it is?
Plus 120? Not a lot, but now you're only getting an extra 75 points on Bobrovsky. So he really is the favorite on Florida, right?
So you give the edge to Vegas in the final?
Oh, yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, Adin Hill, I still can't believe he's going to win a Stanley Cup, but he's been playing great, and I think they're the better team on paper.
I keep saying this, and I said it about Bobrovsky, I said it about Adin Hill. I'm like, if one of these teams can chase one of the goalies, it changes everything. It might come down. It might be a goalie showdown in the finals. It really could be. Yeah. But both teams play so similar. They have goal scorers, aggressive on the forecheck. I mean, great on the penalty kill. You see the Panthers on the power play now. They're clicking. Same thing with Vegas, who just destroyed the Stars within 10 minutes and won that game 3. So I like the plus 120. I think it might be a bit closer, though.
Yeah. I hate everyone who covers the NHL as a profession right now because it was really no bad option, but Lauderdale to Vegas back and forth is pretty sick.
I was just talking about that. I would love to cover this final. Imagine that.
Unbelievable. I was pretty happy with my pick, which was, Carolina against Vegas, which Raleigh is a nice town, good golf, and then over to Vegas, but Lauderdale and Vegas? Are you kidding me?
Carolina has issues. I mean, I was looking at their goal, lack of scoring is an issue. I mean, Sebastian Aho and Martin Necas were their top scorers in the regular season. Just 5 goals for Aho, 4 for Necas. It's not good enough. And we talk about the Leafs all the time, lack of scoring. And in this series, I mean, Carolina didn't have it.
We're going to get into the F1 and the French Open later. So before we do that, real quick, tonight we do have a possible elimination game. Well, 2 possible elimination games. One at another sweep, one at Game 5. Who are you liking in the Dallas-Vegas game and then Boston-Miami?
Give me Vegas on the money line.
I think so, right?
Plus 100. No Jamie Benn. What a clown. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I didn't realize because I wasn't watching the game because it was my anniversary, so I wasn't watching. I didn't realize it was 1.5 minutes into the game.
So they give up an early goal, which was a nice goal.
Yeah.
And then the captain goes out and does that and says, "Oh yeah, I got to watch where I fall." Some stupid comment. He didn't talk after the game, by the way.
Yeah.
He gets suspended for 2 games, but after that penalty, they give up another one, and the game's over. And then you can't blame Ottinger. You didn't give him a chance to get into the game. So I think it's all falling apart for Dallas. Unfortunately, I like them a lot, but Vegas had even money tonight all day. And for the basketball, you asked as well. 8.5 plus 8.5 for Miami Heat.
That's crazy.
They were minus 1.5 favorites in the last game. Now plus 8.5. Come on.
I know. I do. I love that number. You're giving me that many points for a team that's won 3 outright games so far. Did you happen to see when they had that behind the in the arena when Ben was leaving and didn't talk to anyone?
Yeah,
did you see that?
Hopping into his G-Wagon.
Did you not get flashbacks to WWE?
Yes, it totally did.
The second I saw him, it's like Stone Cold Steve Austin going to come out with a limo and
that's why I was waiting for Vince to pop out in the limo. It totally looked like that. He looks like he could be a heel in WWE.
I think so.
But man, what are you doing? Jamie Benn, man. He's so well respected. Everyone calls him a fantastic captain, fantastic leader, and he pulls that. I mean, that is the dagger for his team.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Tough spot to be in, especially when you're the leader of that team as well. All right, we're going to get into some F1. The Monaco Grand Prix is coming up this weekend. Sarah Peraria of Homestand joins us next.